Hello and welcome to my house. This is actually my new office slash guest room. So just, a new place to get some videos done and have a little more privacy than when I had my office and computer in the kitchen, which is where everybody always is. That's the center of the house. So today we are going to start a new video series called Kicking the Pants Monday, and it's just a different version of Motivation Mondays, and it's taking the place of Tough Love Tuesdays. So I'm going to give you the disclaimer that I normally give on Tough Love Tuesdays and just let you know that if you are in a sensitive mood today, maybe peruse some of the other videos that we have for you on the site, maybe check out some of the free workouts or some of the free recipes. And then when you're ready for a kick in the pants, come back. However, I will say today's video is going to focus more on what other people might be doing wrong for you, as opposed to what you're doing wrong and when it comes to meeting your personal goals. So without further ado, we're going to climb right into this subject because it's something that I'm really, really passionate about, especially right now. I get emails, phone calls, all kinds of things all week long of people who, in my opinion, are just broken. They have reached the end of their rope. They are not feeling well at all. They're sick all the time. They are seeing usually a nutritionist, usually a trainer, or a combination of the two. They are going to regular classes of some sort or something like that, and yet they're broken. Physically, mentally, emotionally broken. And I get very angry and very passionate about this because in the health and fitness industry, we are supposed to be helping people. We are supposed to be building people up, not tearing them down and creating more trouble and more drama and more issues in their lives. And so with that being said, it's difficult in today's day and age because everybody has an opinion. Everybody, has this guru that they follow, whatever. And nobody is really sticking to the fact that health, fitness, nutrition, exercise, it's all a science. And in the realm of science, science is more about experimentation. It changes, it changes with the way things flow. The food that we eat in today's day and age is not the same food that we had back in the 1940s, 1950s. The food has changed. The availability of food has changed. The amount of food that we are inundated with all the time has changed. The lifestyles that we lead have changed, particularly in the United States and in more developed nations. And nobody seems to take that into account. And so think about this. People go to a trainer, okay? And they want to drop a few pounds. Maybe they enjoy, doing a certain activity on the weekends or something. And so they're like, I want to get better at this activity. I want to drop a few pounds. So the trainer puts them on this extremely idiotic meal plan that restricts all their carbs and that really totally tanks their calories, and then they don't have energy for anything that they love. All they can focus on is the don'ts. They focus on what they can't eat, what they can't do, all of this. They're causing more and more inflammation in their bodies, and 6 weeks later, they're actually worse off than when they went the first time. Now, why would this person not automatically fire their stupid trainer? Well, because they have credentials behind their name, so obviously they know what they're doing. No. Okay? Most of the trainers that I worked with when I worked in big gyms were fresh out of high school. They did some kind of sport in high school, and let me tell you, to get your training certification, you have to read a book, okay? And I got mine through NASM. I love NASM because they push the CEs really hard and everything. You have to stay on top of it and all, so it's super cool. But for your just to be a trainer, just to be able to say, hey, I'm going to train people, you have to read a book. It can take you, I think for my CPT exam, it took me maybe 2 weeks to read the book, and then a 1 weekend course. Then I took a test, and poof, I was a fitness professional. Unfortunately, a lot of trainers just stop there. They give their clients meal plans that they copied out of a magazine or something that they just think will work. You know, well, my client's getting fatter, so they obviously need less carbs. Bull! That is total bull if you look at the science of how macronutrients are used in the body. Yes, there is science behind the fact that higher protein diets work, but not science behind the fact that low carbohydrate diets work. So you need to get it together, okay? Don't just trust that your trainer's little credentials at the end of their name mean something. I mean, you know, and I know it's difficult. Look it up. You can Google those credentials. I mean, seriously, nobody knows what all of mine mean. My credentials have more letters than my name actually does. And nobody knows what it means. And that's cool. I know what it means. It means that every single year I'm investing in that. I am learning more. I'm educating myself so that I can educate my clients, because ultimately I would like to help them become more self-sufficient. I would like for each client to be able to sustain their healthy lifestyle on their own. And, you know, that's a question to ask your trainer. Are you preparing me to do this on my own during our time together? Because if you're not, it's really a waste of your time and your money. Because now, I mean, you want to stay with your trainer just because you think they're cool and you want to work out with them, whatever. But if they're not teaching you things, and, you know, that's a different thing than if you're actually doing it. But if they're not teaching you things, then they aren't for you. And you need to move on down the road, because there are a ton of people in this industry, and there are a handful that really, really, truly know what they're doing, love what they're doing, and care about their clients. In my opinion, it's more than just results-based, because, yeah, you know, does my client want to drop 10 pounds? Probably. Do I want them to feel their absolute best and then drop the 10 pounds? Yes. Because if you don't feel your best and you drop 10 pounds, there is no way you're going to keep that 10 pounds off. It's going to come back, because you're going to break at some point. And then you're going to end up as one of these broken people that's just hopping from one diet to the next, from one theory to the next, from one fad to the next. And that does not get the job done. Consistency is what gets the job done. And we have to work with somebody who is willing to bend, somebody who is willing to take the time to learn about the human body. Because here's the cool thing. Nobody on the face of the earth has your skeletal structure, has your, like the way that your body works. I'm trying to think of like simple ways to put it, but they aren't you. Nobody, even identical twins, are not completely the same with their internal structure and the way that their body repairs itself, the way that it recovers after exercise, the way that it interprets exercise, the way that it works with food. Nobody's the same. So why on earth are we consistently falling for these food scams that go, well, you're going to eat like everybody else, because, you know, we have a control group of people that lost a lot of weight, so you're going to eat like them. Well, that's not going to work. Okay, we need to come up with a new way of thinking. We need to learn to love food again. We need to eat in a way that is healthful and nourishing for our bodies, so that we can move, because ultimately you do need to move more, and we move less now than we ever have. You know, and then we cause inflammation in the body because we spend Monday through Friday sitting, and then Saturday and Sunday running around like crazy people. Either we're doing a race here, or we're doing these, you know, physical activities, or maybe we're just doing things. Maybe we're just doing stuff around the house, constantly moving. And your body is not conditioned to that, and then it's back in its chair on Monday. And that just, it doesn't work for the body. So if you don't have somebody who can help you learn how to live a better, healthier life, then ditch them, okay? Fire them. See you later, and move on to the next one. I mean, we have an entire internet that's full of people who can help you across countries. And, you know, if you're willing to do the work, then they can help you from this little webcam. They can help you from emails. They can help you from all this stuff. And there are people out there who know. So be picky. Start to be picky. This is your life. This is your health. This is your fitness level. This is your very basic genetic makeup that you are just allowing somebody to dip their finger in and twirl around and go, well, let's see if this works. You know, do your homework. Get to know them. Ask them, what's your training philosophy? What's your nutrition philosophy? Just because they have letters at the back of their name doesn't mean they're right for you, because honestly, if they don't believe that every single person needs to be treated as an individual, then they're not right for you, because they're going to be giving you some cookie cutter junk. There's people who email me all the time and they're like, well, I'm seeing this nutritionist and they took me off all these foods. And I'm very limited with what I can eat. I have no energy to do anything. I used to do all this stuff and now I have no energy to do it. And I'm going, oh my gosh, do you realize while you're typing this out how crazy this is? That you're listening to this person, yeah, but they're a nutritionist. Oh, well, great. Do they live in your body? Are they, coming in and sleeping in your body at night and noticing how it feels? No. Do they ever even ask you that? Or do they just simply point out that you must be doing something wrong if it's not working, because it's obviously not us, right? Because we know all, which is not true. If a client comes and they have complaints, I usually work with them to try to find something. There's got to be something that's missing, something that needs to be added. And the majority of my clients can all, they'll flat out tell you, one of the first things I tell them is you have to eat. You have to eat. You cannot starve yourself to reach your goals. And you have to eat. You have to recommit to building a healthy relationship with food. And it's similar to any healthy relationship you have. You're going to have to spend some time with it. You have to get to know it. You're going to have to do the work. And if we're not willing to invest, people are they're pumping money down the drain of a gym, a nutritionist, a trainer, whatever. And they're like, well, they have letters after their name. They must know exactly what they're talking about. No, most of them don't. And so do your research. Look into it. Figure it out. Some trainers are really, really awesome at sports training, but they know nothing about hormones in the body, about training somebody who's over 40 years old, who's dealing with hormone issues, who cannot drop the weight. They don't know anything about that. They don't know about, okay, that's not working, we're going to have to change a few things. Not just, you're going to have to work harder. Oh, you're still not losing weight? Well, we're going to drop your calories by another 500. You're still not losing weight? No carbs for you, and stop eating white stuff, because white stuff is bad. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So my goal for you is to get you educated, especially with these Monday posts. Get you educated to where you start to ask these questions, where you start to go, hey, am I doing what's absolutely right for me? Now, is it awesome to watch somebody else, to watch a workout and get inspired and go, I want to try that? Yeah, absolutely. And then you can try it and you might go, that is cool. It worked. I felt great. I felt like I kicked some butt. I conquered something. I could still move the next day, all right, which means you're recovering. I was a little sore, which means you did something. But, I have so many people who run, not because they love to run, but because they think it'll make them skinny. Well, that's not going to happen. If you love to run, then by all means, run. Run, Forrest, run. If you love to run, do it. If you love to do yoga, do it. If you love the local step class, do it. All right? Do something that you love, because consistency is key, and we will not stay consistent with things that we hate. Our bodies will not change if we are hating what we're doing. So try out some different things. All right? Sit down, make a list of everything that is bugging the crud out of you right now. The fact that maybe, you eat as clean as you possibly know how to eat, but you still feel sick all the time. You have no energy. You used to run, but now you're barely dragging yourself around the track. Something's wrong with that. So make a list. Start checking out everything and start thinking outside of the box that has been placed over you. Bust out of it, because it's the only way that you're going to make changes. And I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to do it today. Think different about how you are doing things right now. I don't care who told you to do it. Think different about it. All right? Because the way that you're eating right now, it needs to be sustainable for life. If the way that you're eating, you cannot see yourself eating for another 6 months, 6 years, then figure out a different way to eat. All right? Make it work for you. People that never have to deal with weight are people that never deal with weight. It's because they don't focus on it all the time. They're not obsessed with food. They're not thinking about what they're going to have for lunch. They're not going, is that the right thing? I don't know. Is this on my meal plan? Is this on my diet? Is this, is this really a whole food, or is it like I don't know, is it a processed kind of half food? I don't know. I'm like, it's real crazy. I got to break out the book for it. If you're having to look at a book to figure out what to eat, there's a problem. So think about the way that you're doing things. Think about sustainability. If you've got issues with food, welcome to the club. Probably about 90% of us do. Face them. Face them. Dive in. Start facing those issues. When you reach for that candy bar at 2:30 every single afternoon, I want you to jot down the question, why do I want this candy bar? Because 9 times out of 10, it's not just because you dig the candy bar. It's because there is some issue there. So start to face it, because you're worth that little bit of effort. And if you start facing your food issues, it will take maybe 2, maybe 3 months for you to start to patch up those things and start to change the way that you live, and you'll feel healthier. You'll be healthier. You won't just feel healthier, you'll be healthier. You'll have more energy to spare. You'll be more lively. You won't be a drag at parties because you can eat whatever you want, and you're not thinking about, what if I don't eat this? Are they going to be offended if I don't eat this? I hope they have something that's on my meal plan. Oh my God. Deal. Find something that works for you for life. Write it down. Figure out what changes you need to make. Feel free to comment. Let the world know. And I'll be back next week to kick your butt again.